The number one energy producer in the world. Soon it will be by far the number one. It's tremendous wealth.
We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
And I think I know more about the environment than most people. I want clean air, I want clean water, I want a wealthy country.
We're in a race against time as the planet heats up.
We have only 11 years. Don't let 2030 be 2030.
And are starting to fight back.
The aspects of equity and climate justice. They also rely on my generation sucking hundreds of billions of tons of your CO2 out of the air with technologies that barely exist.
Climate change is killing our planet. That's an undeniable fact, right? I mean, what takes up 70% of climate change being fossil fuels, gas, oil, and coal, it feels like there's no way to stop it. All we can do is slow it down. But what if there was a way to stop it? A way to have a different kind of energy, an endless amount of energy, where we don't need fossil fuels, coal, gas to power everything we have, and we all collectively use it. And what if that energy is free? Dr. Stephen Greer, the founder of the Disclosure Project, made a documentary on the lost century. And well, in this video, he talks about the rise of climate change and the unknown fact about zero-point energy and how it will change the world completely, as well as why the idea of infinite energy is being suppressed. Any version of power used on Earth today is obsolete. Burning energy, using the sun as heat, using wind as energy, they're all obsolete because we could follow the gravity research that contractors and research institutions, we could see that bright future of infinite energy. In 1940, Dr. Kazmaier made research on something called zero-point energy field, which was proven in the 1950s. Zero-point energy, or what Nikola Tesla called radiant energy, is the most profound gift in the quantum world. So, what is zero-point energy? To start off, the universe is infinite with an endless amount of space and what seems to be nothingness. Well, the empty vacuum of space is actually a roiling sea of virtual particles fluctuating in and out of existence, and all those fluctuations require energy. If we could somehow tap in and harness this energy, we could have clean and endless amounts of it. UFOs and spacecraft are known to harness this energy, which means the lengths in which we can travel would also be endless. If the cost of energy is free, then that would make agriculture and manufacturing negligible. This would mean the end of oil, gas, and coal, as well as a decentralized power grid and global. But macroeconomic systems which stop at nothing to protect their wealth would not allow this. This is happening because companies that populate the earth aren't taken accountable for their methods to use energy and the lies being told to us citizens. This is because CEOs of these companies are given a higher power. For example, the company Exxon funded 40 different groups with their campaign to deny the worst impacts of climate change, and even took pride in this. Okay, so how can more people learn about zero-point energy, and how can it be spread? How do you think?
I think the best way that more people can get to know about zero-point energy is through the younger generation having more in-depth and serious conversations about these topics, especially because we are in the age of information and technology.
Okay.
I think, like you're saying, with the age of technology and information, more people will speak about these things, more information will come out, and I think it will, maybe people will stop seeing it as a conspiracy and rather actually taking it seriously. And hopefully that in itself would actually influence more people, scientists, inventors to create their own devices and not necessarily rely on other people, I suppose.
Right. And how does it affect our world? Like, how, if we did have 0 point energy, how would it change the world and revolutionize it?
I think that if 0 point energy had to come out, I feel like the first key step before humans have access to 0 point energy is we must understand its true potential and power and what it can really mean, and that before we actually access 0 point energy, people need to understand how it should be used, and because if we don't use it properly, it can it can either be used for very good or for very bad. But
Yeah, I hear you. What
I
you
think it's such a powerful tool that can literally completely change the game. I think it would put so many current monopolies at risk, which they obviously don't want. But I think, like Owen saying, it is so powerful and it is a tool, and it's up to the people to decide how that tool is used. So with so much power, you could do so much good, but you could also create so much chaos.
Right.
Yeah.
True. Well, that's it. Thank y'all. In conclusion, in this video, I mentioned how we can use different types of energy to completely change the game and completely take out the energy that we use that affects our climate change so much, and what it takes for us as a generation to be able to completely open everyone else's eyes up, to show them the true way instead of being told lies, and carry on watching our earth completely burn to nothingness until we all don't exist. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Miss, please give me 100%. And yeah, that's my documentary.